Hello everyone, how you doing? I'm Tintin57. Welcome to my section of the March Spring Sales event. Thank you very much to Dovetail for having me on as part of the Ambassador Programme. Do appreciate that. And for allowing me to look at my favourite route in TSW4 and show it to you guys, and that is the Blackpool branches. But before we get into today's video, just a little bit about the channel, Tintin_57 on YouTube. Go and check that out. Consider subscribing. There is lots of simulator related content on there. Not just trains, there's a lot of other stuff as well, and I play both on the PC and the PS5. So if you want to go and check that out, you'll be more than welcome to, and consider subscribing. If you like what you see, I'm sure there's something on there that you will enjoy. So here we are. You might recognise that we're not in one of the standard paces that you get as part of this DLC. We are running the channel livery for the 142, which is available on the Creators Club. This has been created by Jason PFC, which was very kind of him. And you might know Jason from the Train Sim World Community Discord. If you're not a member there, just go over there and give it a try. Very friendly Discord there, all things TSW. But he has created this in the channel colours, so we're going to run this today. Just want to show you that you don't need to run with the standard trains on this or any route really. If there is another train you prefer, or another livery for the standard train that runs on the particular route that you're interested in, then give it a try. That's what it's all about. There's a bit of freedom there to do what you want. Well, let's get today's video underway properly. We're at Preston Station, and what we'll do is we'll get everything set up, ready to go, shall we? We'll go into forwards, that's it. Let's get the doors open. Because I've been talking, we're going to end up departing slightly later than we should, but that's fine. We're here just to enjoy the run, aren't we? Let's check all the lighting, which is over here. We have got the destination light, I think this is. No, that's the cab light. Destination light. The guide's blowing his whistle already. We're not ready to go. Let's get the headlights on. We're going to Blackpool North today, by the way. So we will set up the destination board in the usual way. That is it. Okay. We also need to pop down to the back if we're doing this correctly. And just make sure that we got Blackpool North set at the back as well. Just let this lady pop on. We'll just let ourselves in here. Same again. Blackpool North. Put the destination light on as well. It is daytime, but we'll do it. There we go. Alright, he wants to lock the doors, so let's go. So that wasn't my guide's whistle. I thought that was my guide's whistle that I could hear. But it must have been for another service. That's good then. Right, let's get the doors closed. Alright, so our first station stop is Kirkham and Wesham, which is in 7.5 miles time. So we do have the announcements on here as well.
We will shortly be arriving at Kirkham and Wesham.
That's pretty neat. I do like that. Alright. 7.5 miles, just pulling out of Preston Station. Now, if you're new to my channel, then you won't know that first and foremost, I am born and bred in Preston, so this route is quite special to me to begin with. But the other thing is that I did, in my early working years, work for British Railways. This route's set in 1986. I worked for the Railways in 1989. And the very early 90s at Preston Station and at Leighton Station, where we will be travelling to or through today, and various other places, including Ladywell House, which is this building here. And if you look at my channel, there is a video on there called What Blackpool Branches Means to Me, and I'd advise you go and check that out. I think you'll enjoy that. There's a bit of nostalgia in that video, including some photographs from that time period, and I had lots and lots of fun looking back. I can tell you that from an accuracy perspective, this route is spot on. It really is. The minute I played this for the first time, the memories just flooded back. And it is, as I said at the top of the video, it is easily still, even though we've had lots of releases since, it's easily my favourite route still. So I think Just Trains did an excellent job with this one. Hats off to them. But here we are, we're just going past St Walburg's Church, which is very, very nicely modelled. Very nice. And we are heading out towards Kirkham. Soon we will get the 75 miles per hour limit. So the March Spring Sales is on, and it's running, by the way, between the 14th and the 21st of March. So if you're building up your collection, now's a good time to go and have a look what's on offer. There's quite a lot in the sale. Too many things for me to mention, but just go to your store and have a quick look and see what there is that you're missing. I don't think the Blackpool branches is on there. It's a pretty new route, but there's lots of other stuff on there. And if you're watching this and you're brand new to TSW, you're thinking of buying TSW4, you've not jumped in yet, but you like what you see, the core game, the core TSW4 game, as we get photo bombed and video bombed by Class 45, the base game itself is heavily discounted. So if you do want a way in to TSW4, now's a very good time to do that. So we'll leave it Preston behind, and we're coming up alongside this road, which is called Tom Benson Way. Now, before I played this DLC, I couldn't remember when Tom Benson Way was first built. This is a road that provides a bypass to Preston all around the edge from Preston Docks all the way up to the M6 and the M55. So you can get on the M55 if you're driving to Blackpool, of course, and this takes you around the edge of the city of Preston. And when I saw the construction works in the DLC, it instantly obviously dated when the road was built. I'm used to travelling up and down that road several times a week, but I couldn't tell you when it was built. I thought it was a lot older than that, but they've captured some really good scenery there of it being built, and it looks much the same to this day, which is the special thing. And this is the Pacer, of course. Now, some of you will have travelled on a Pacer. If you watch that video that I mentioned about what Blackpool branches means to me, you'll see that I did actually work on the Pacers for a period in those early 90s. And I've sat many times in the cab, and from this view, although going backwards as a guard, and I actually did work on this line up to Blackpool North, up to Blackpool South, and going the other way to Ormskirk, and then on routes outside of this DLC to Burnley, Colne, Blackburn, all around the northwest really. And I did that for quite a chunk of time, working with the guards. And again, it's something that I've not really thought about in a lot of years until I saw this DLC. And just coming back again and seeing this route like this scenery, it's almost as if I've been taken back there. That's how accurate and close to it actually is. I'm so looking forward to the next Just Trains route, I've got to tell you. I don't know what they're going to do next, but if it's as good as this, then I think we're in for a treat. So if you haven't got this route, hopefully you like what you see, and you might go and pick this up anyway. It's not in the sale, as I said, but you might want to go and pick it up. Very enjoyable. Anyway, we have got 3.3 miles to Kirkham. Now we are running this special channel liveried Class 142, as I mentioned earlier. Could also be, depends what traffic we see on the route, but I do also have some liveries downloaded from the Creators Club for the Class 47. I've got quite a few. Look at the bounce on that 142, by the way. I've got quite a few liveries for the Class 47, which we may see as we're coming up towards Blackpool. That's Solwick Station, by the way. In the background with the chimneys there, you can see the BNFL Springfields plant. And that station that we just came through is used for the workforce. I think actually now there's only a couple of trains a day that stop there. So it's not really a station you want to get off and have a walk around with a view to hopping back on again, because you might be waiting there quite a few hours if you do that. Let's have a look around the cab whilst we're here. Very basic, aren't they? Very basic cab. And you either love these or you hate them. They've got a certain kind of nostalgia though, haven't they? A sort of bus on the rails. And they did shake you about quite a bit. And one of the things I had to do whilst working on these trains, of course, was try and sell tickets from the portable ticket machine that every guard would carry in those days. There was no doing it on your phone or anything like that, or an iPad. You had a machine around your neck, and you had to learn a new skill, which was standing up straight whilst both hands were on the ticket machine and not being able to support yourself with your hands whilst the train was bouncing up and down, just like this one is now, as you can see. You kind of had to lodge your knee behind one of the chairs to make sure that you didn't go sailing down the middle of the train. But it was all good fun. All good fun. But this is Kirkham. We need to be down to a 45 as we come in to the platform. How are we doing for time? We're due in at 10:10, and we're just coming up to that now, so we're pretty much bob on at the moment. Just put in one notch of brake. A few people waiting for us on the platform. Now, are we going to stop short, or are we going to be able to roll forward? I think we're going to roll okay. Even though we're actually travelling uphill. There we go. Let's put the brakes in. Get the doors open. Quick look round Kirkham whilst we're waiting. Here's the orange 142. So this is one of the liveries that comes with the route. This is one of the standard liveries. Look at those bus seats inside. Not very comfortable at all. Let's get the doors closed. And our next stop is Poulton Le Fylde. So let's jump back in. So here's an interesting thing, just as we leave the station. Just over on our right hand side. Once we reach this building here. This is actually the Fox's Biscuits factory, which is at Kirkham, and it's interesting. It's a very famous building if you're from around this area, and obviously because of copyright, I think Just Trains couldn't use Fox's, so in this version it's Cat's Biscuits, which I thought was actually quite good. But if you know, you know it's Fox's. We just got cats on this line, which is quite good. So we got just under 6 miles until we get to Poulton. Do have a 30 coming up. There's a bit of freight going on over there on the left hand side. It's got a 47. Take a look at that. Make sure I hit this 30 on the money. That large logo 47 as well, that also comes with this route. And there are a couple of runs you can do up the Burnnays branch as well. To what was the old ICI factory up there towards Fleetwood. And that's a small branch line that once we get to Poulton you'll see it branching off to the right hand side, so you can do a couple of services down there as well, a couple of timetable services, but also again with free roam etc you can create your own with the scenario planner. Right, we can get up to speed. We'll jump back in the cab. Bolts on the Files, there you go. Right, let's see if we can get up to speed. We are slightly uphill, but we are accelerating. It's not the fastest train, is it, this one? But once it goes, it's alright, but you will get shaken around. If VR ever comes to Train Sim World, I don't think you'll want to use VR with the baser. It could make you very nauseous, I'll say that. So I should have told you as we left Kirkham, where the 47 was on our left, that was the branch line there going off up to Blackpool South. We're heading to Blackpool North, but included in this DLC is also the line up to Blackpool South. So if you do a Blackpool South service, that's where you'll head off up to the left there. We need to give a warning here. I should have said at the beginning, by the way, I am playing on the PC today. I do play TSW4 mainly on the PS5, but I do have a demo version that I use for streaming quite a lot on the PC, so I thought I'd have a change today for this Dovetail event. But I do cover both PC and PS5. Because of course TSW4 is very popular with console gamers, which is great. It's pretty unique in that respect for a console gamer. So after we get under this bridge, I'm going to pop out of the cab because very soon you do get the first sight of Blackpool Tower off in the distance, and I'll attempt to show it to you. So if you look over there where the cursor is, you can just see the tower for the first time. So Blackpool North actually, this line to Blackpool North actually curves around like a, it's kind of like a claw. You have Blackpool South at one side of the tower, Blackpool North at the other side of the tower, and of course if you're walking down the front you've got the Golden Mile, as it's called, along the front. So that's where we're headed. And if I just show you what I mean on the map, so this is where we left Kirkham. This is the Blackpool South branch line. We're heading up here. This is Poulton Le Filed, where the target is, and there is the Burnnays branch, which I mentioned, where you can run some of the freight services. And then we are coming all the way around to Blackpool North. So the tower's more at the north end. I would say it's about where that dot is. So that's where we're headed. But it is an interesting shape route. 2.3 miles we have got. As we're coming out of Preston Station, by the way, you will have noticed that we did get a couple of AWS alarms, but on the actual branch up to the Blackpool, the two Blackpools, there is no AWS, so it's only around Preston Station where you'll get that. As I assume was as it was in real life in the 1980s. But you should have a very pleasant run to Blackpool. And if you get a chance to do this in real life as well, it's also worth a trip. So being in Preston, it's quite easy for me. So what me and the family usually do is we'll take a train up to Blackpool South on the way out, have a walk down the front at Blackpool, do a bit of shopping, and then end up at Blackpool North and come back to Preston from Blackpool North. So you get a round trip, and you just have the one ticket, which is Blackpool stations. So you can go to Blackpool North and back, or a combination of Blackpool North, Blackpool South, whatever takes your fancy. It's just one price. It's quite good actually. It's good for a day out, especially on a day like this as we're running now. Got some lovely weather for this run, and we have got a 50 coming up, so let's pay attention to that as well. We're going to be slightly overspeeding, but it's fine. The 45 coming the other way. Let's bring the speed down for Poulton. Very long platforms at Poulton. I assume from the Steam days, because this run to Blackpool North would have been very, very popular with holidaymakers back in the day. It's a little bit quieter now, of course, but it wasn't that long ago that lots of people from the northwest and beyond spent their holidays in Blackpool. This is Poulton with its glass canopy. It's very nice, isn't it? Some of the modelling that's been done is brilliant. And you can also explore these stations as well. So you can get out and you can walk up the steps and you can go into the booking office, which is up here at the top. You can see there is the booking office. And you can explore some of these stations. And of course, you know, like every route, there are collectibles. I did see a collectible actually out of the corner of my eyes. We came into Poulton Station. Golf clubs. That's one of the collectibles on this route. But let's get the doors closed and see if we can stay on time till we get to Blackpool. That would be nice, wouldn't it? There was a guy trying to get through the doors then. Did you see that? He was a little bit late. But Leighton is the next stop. This is one of the stations that I worked at for a couple of months when I was a railway trainee. Fond memories of Leighton Station. This is the Birdnaze branch, which is going off to the right, which is, as mentioned, that is playable. That is a playable part of the route. Let's see what Tom has to say on the public announcements.
The next station stop is Leighton.
So on this route as well as coming towards the Blackpool direction, you can also go from Preston to Ormskirk as well, which is if you go end to end from Blackpool South to Ormskirk, it's well over an hour actually for the length of service wise. So it's a really nice run, and since this DLC came out at the back end of last year, 14th of November actually it came out. I remember it very, very well for various reasons, but on the PS5 I've completed all the journey mode and the majority of the services outside that as well, so you can see how many hours I've put into this route just on its own. And we've had lots of great routes that have released since this, but I keep going back to this one just because of my personal connection to it and it being so familiar. Absolutely love this one. But we've got a 70 coming up, and Leighton can be a tricky station to stop at because now we've got this straight track in front of us, the station is also on this straight, so there aren't that many points of reference for stopping at Leighton. But we'll give it our best shot. We are uphill as well, 0.8%. We'll take a look outside at this livery once again. It's even got the Dovetail Ambassador logo there on the side of the driver's cab, which is quite nice. I don't know if that is a standard decal in the livery designer or whether Jason created that himself. That's Carlton Crossing. But if you do want this, if you do own the Class 142 and you fancy downloading this channel livery, if you do go to the livery designer and just type in the Creators Club I should say, and just type in Tintin, this is one of the ones that comes up. He's done others as well. He's done the Class 150 in this livery for the West Cornwall route. So you can pick that up as well if you like driving the 150. And yeah, go and have a look. Go and have a look around. It just provides some additional, interest and a bit of variation to some of the routes. So this is Leighton Station, and the guys at Just Trains that built this route are obviously quite local to the route as well. And I'll show you the reason why, because one of the clues is at Leighton Station. And if you're from around this area, then this will be instantly recognisable. But not much so if you're not from around this area. But I'll just get parked up and get the doors open and I will show you what I mean. Get everybody on board. Right, let's take a look outside. So, as I was looking around Leighton Station, my eyes were drawn to this graffiti. And of course, this is the 80s. You've got the little guy there from Pac-Man, which we all know. But then over here, you've got North End. And this, of course, refers to my football team, Preston North End. And the big rivalry between North End and Blackpool is well known in these parts. And, throughout the country, if you're a football fan. I thought that was really good though that they've included this graffiti so near to Blackpool as well, as if the North End fans have been travelling up here to a match. They've been a bit naughty, they've stopped off at Leighton, they've been spraying the paint, and if you've got local knowledge, then you'll understand that, and it's really good that they've put that in. It's just those small touches, isn't it, that can make a massive difference in the DLC. Things you wouldn't think of. Anyway, we are going via Blackpool North down Main, so our next station stop is Blackpool North, so this is just the approach to Blackpool. So let's get up to speed, because we do have a 15 miles per hour just outside the station, and we need to be ready for that, of course. And we've been running to time as well, which is nice.
The next stop is Blackpool North, where this service ends.
Where this service ends. So if you keep pressing that, there are sometimes a few variations.
We'll shortly be arriving at Blackpool North, where this service ends. The next station stop is Blackpool North, where this service ends.
Sometimes he says
The
terminates.
next station stop is Blackpool North, where this service ends.
He's not going to do it for me today, though. The little tinker. Take my word for it. There are some variations if you keep pressing it. Right, we do have a red light, but normally this red light will lift as soon as we get to the go via point. Back on the footballing theme, you see the BFC, and on this side, you've got Blackpool. So the Blackpool fans are even graffitiing up their own signal boxes and stations. Go and work that one out. But that is a really nice nod to the football rivalry, which is quite strong around this area. Let's see if this will drop the signal. It's going up, it's not dropping. There we go. But that's fine. We're doing 14, so we're good speed wise. We'll just get ready now for the 15. And just around this warehouse you get a full glimpse of the tower. And there it is. Over here now, this building is a big Sainsbury's. I don't know what it was back in the day when this was set, but yeah, that's a big Sainsbury's now. The station itself is exactly the same. The concourse and everything exactly the same. But there's been a lot of development on the outside of the station. Every time I go, so there's something different. But we're coming into platform 5, so we'll just jump back in for this. Don't know if there's going to be anything interesting to spot. There's the shunter there over on the right, so you do get that with the route as well, and you get to do some shunting activities around both Blackpool North and Preston Station in this DLC. We're actually due in at 10:30, look, and we're about a minute and a half ahead of time, which is quite nice. So we'll start slowing it down, because if we go any further than that marker, we're in serious trouble, because we'll be in the booking office. Easy does it. And we can open the doors. And that is our little trip between Preston and Blackpool on the Blackpool Branches line. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks once again to Dovetail for having me on as part of this event. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do give the video a like, and don't forget to come and check out my channel. We've got lots and lots of TSW, as you saw at the beginning, and lots of other simulation gaming as well. It'd be great to see you over there. And do enjoy the sales, and do enjoy the rest of the March Spring Sales event. And that is it for me. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.